Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Brooke. I am a Rolf practitioner, a hara trainer, and a massage therapist. Today's video is a self-care strategy for your upper back and shoulders. Let's go over the rules before we get started. The first rule is all gain, no pain. So if any part of this movement is uncomfortable or painful for you to do, please discontinue and feel free to leave me a comment and I can try and help you troubleshoot. Also, consult your physician before you agree to do any sort of new physical exercise, okay? The second rule is we always move. So instead of holding a pose, we're going to be doing repetitions. The third rule is always resist. So part of these movements is going to feel like a stretch, and you just never want to rest or relax into the stretch. You're going to hold a nice, easy, comfortable resistance the whole time. All right? So the only thing you need to do this strategy is just some floor space and something comfortable to lay on, like a yoga mat or just a carpeted area. Whatever you have available to you is fine. And you want enough floor space for your arms to be outstretched like that. All right, so let's get started. Just lie down on your back and just take a few seconds here to let your spine rest on the floor. You're going to bring your feet to the floor and your knees are going to point up towards the ceiling. And just take a few breaths and allow your spine to melt, especially if you've been busy all day and this is the first time that you've lied down flat. Your spine might feel a little frozen or a little stiff. So just breathe and just give it a few minutes to melt into the floor. And once you've done that, snuggle your shoulder blades so that your upper back feels as flat to the floor as possible, as comfortable. And then bring your arms out to the side. Now you want your arms to be directly out from your shoulder socket. So not too high, not too low. And just see if you can check each side and make sure that it looks where it's supposed to be, right at a T shape. Okay, once you're there, move your arms so that your pinky side or your ulnar side of your arm is resting on the floor. So to start, all you're going to do is just roll your hands backwards, passively, gently, just to feel the movement, just to see what it feels like. And then we're going to retest this at the end. So just a couple times, slowly, mindfully, your upper back is as flat to the floor as possible. Your spine is continually melting to the mat or the floor. You're just breathing and you're just rolling your hands backwards and just seeing what that feels like. And just take a few mental notes. What does it feel like in your right arm versus your left arm? And once you feel like you've gotten a pretty good understanding of what your arms do naturally, we're going to start the exercise. Okay, so reset. Snuggle your spine to the floor. Scoop your scapulas under to kind of make sure that they allow your upper back to be flat to the floor. Tuck your chin down so that your eyes can gently look at your knees. You don't have to force this. Just let your eyes look down at your cheekbones. Bring your pinky side of your arms to the floor and then just check one more time to make sure that they are directly out from your shoulder socket. Okay, now with your fingertips, you're just going to do a slight reach outward, and that's going to lock your elbows and kind of give you a little bit of tension in your shoulder blades or your scapulas. Feel that tension. Your triceps are going to be somewhat working here, and so is your biceps. Lock those elbows and reach out from the fingertips just gently. Once you're there, plant your feet on the floor and you're going to peel your spine up off the floor. Remember to look down at your knees. And at the same time, your arms are going to be rotating back to the backside of your knuckles. And once you've gone up as far as you want to go, pin your hands to the carpet and just lower your spine back down to the floor, tucking your tailbone slightly so that your lower back and your tailbone is the last things to rest on the floor. Okay, on your next inhale, you're going to do this again. Peel your spine up, look down at your knees, and rotate your arms back a little bit more, locking your elbows and tensing up your arms as you do this. Glue your palms where they meet the floor to the floor, and slowly, with your exhale, gently, slowly, mindfully lower your spine back down to the floor. Remember to activate your arms and lock your elbows as you do this. Tuck your tailbone so your lower back and then your tailbone meet the floor very last. On your next inhale, do it one more time. Look down at your knees, peel up. Rotate the arms back just a tiny bit further again. Pin them to the carpet or the floor. And then with your exhale, gently, slowly, mindfully lower down. Tense up your arms. Keep your hands pinned to the floor. And tuck your tailbone. And once your spine is all the way down, just let your arms unroll. And just feel how good that feels. Okay, now reassess and just kind of feel your arm movement and see if it feels more active, less stressful, more stressful. Just decide. What does that feel like? Okay, so now we're going to do the opposite movement. Snuggle your scapulas back to the floor and your spine. Feel that nice flat upper back on the floor. Press the heels into the floor just a little bit to snuggle your lower back to the floor as well. Bring your arms straight out from the shoulders and check to make sure, and then bring your pinky side of your arm to the floor. This time you're going to roll your hands forward or to the palm side of your hands and see how far they like to roll. See what activates to try to make this movement possible. So you're taking just little mental notes. What does this feel like? What's activating? For me, I'm feeling an activation in my left latissimus, so like the side of my back where my rib cage is, but not so much on my right, which is interesting. And nothing is bad or wrong, it's just a mental note. Okay, so once you've assessed and you felt that, come back to the mat, snuggle your spine and your scapulas to the mat, maybe even kind of pin or press your scapulas or your shoulder blades into the floor gently. You're going to lock your elbows, tense up your arms, hold a contraction from your shoulder blades all the way out to your fingertips. Maybe reach out just a touch to really lock those elbows. And then you're going to lift your head rather than your hips, like so, as you rotate your arms down. So with your next inhale or exhale, whichever one feels comfortable, and you're going to pin your hands, come up as far as you want to go, and then pin your hands to the floor as you slowly lower down, I would say with an inhale. And then on your next exhale, again, look down at your knees. Maybe with your belly button, pin your lower back to the mat. As your arms rotate a little bit further, remember to lock the elbows and kind of reach out with the fingertips. And then slowly lower your head back down. Keep your spine flush with the floor as your head lowers down. Reset, lock your elbows, reach out just a little bit, and on your next exhale, lift back up, rotating your arms a little bit further, glue them down, pin your belly button to your spine, to the floor, lower your head super gently, keep your eyes down as much as possible, and then once you've reached the floor, unroll and rest. And it feels so good. And then reassess. Come to the pinky side and just roll your hands and feel your shoulders. Maybe at the beginning you felt a little crickety